If you've arrived at this website, you've probably come here because you want to know how to grow and prosper your business. Even though we're in a tough economy, we're in difficult times, things may get better or they may get worse soon. Only time will tell. There's a very good chance they'll get worse, and it will be harder to make a success of business rather than easier. So you need to be well armed. What happened? Well, one of the things that happened recently was the way that business is done has changed. It's changed radically, and probably everybody who's watching this knows that. Yellow pages is a thing of the past. The business model that just doesn't really work anymore. I'll talk more about that later on in another video perhaps. Google's come along, and everybody's talking about Google this and Google that and Google everything else. Google's not the only game in town, but it is a major player. As you've probably seen for yourselves, there are now a bucket full of SEO experts all over the place promising we will get you ranked, we will get you on the first page of Google, etc., etc. And various services have their merits. A lot of them have their detractions, and some of the companies are trustworthy, some of them are not, for various reasons. You've got people offering to build your websites all the time and to do social networking. That's been a fairly recent change, but more recently there's been this massive change, and most business owners and business senior managers still don't understand this, and understandably they don't understand this. And it will take me another video to explain just this one aspect, but there's been a massive change in the online world in the last 18 months or so. That's spawned things like Google Maps, local search and mobile search. Now, those are three key terms that if you're operating a business you really need to understand, and we'll go through those in a bit more detail another time. But just suppose if only you could find somewhere to go to get simple, trustworthy help to market your business online. Now, I know lots of people are saying that sort of thing to you. I'm just one of them. You've got no reason on God's earth to trust me at the moment. Stick with me and you'll find out whether my advice and my help is good, whether it's quality, whether it's trustworthy or not. That sort of relationship comes with time, not with visiting a simple website. Suppose it came with no marketing hype and no geek speak, and from someone with real-world business experience. One of the different things about Stevens & Cross Associates is that we're a company owned by, staffed by and operated by business owners and business builders. We all come from a very strong business background. We've broad and diverse experience in a number of industries, but, and this is a big but, we are very comfortable around technology and understand how technology can be used in business these days, where a lot don't. Most importantly, suppose it helps you know just what has changed and why. And that's really important. You need to know what has changed and why it's changed, because only then can you know what you can do about it. And best of all, supposing you could find this thing which gave you a solid foundational understanding of how those pieces fit together and a game plan to ramp things up quickly. And that's pretty crucial. Knowledge is good, but how to put the knowledge into action is more important in many ways. And finally, you could see permanent windfall profits from these insights. And I do mean windfall profits. You'll see why I use that phrase. Faster and easier than you may realize. And the whole thing was quick. It was painless and very, very cost effective. In fact, it didn't end up costing you a cent. That's what we're talking about here. But one thing I do want to make clear is local customers are already searching for the products and services that you offer, and you will probably have seen these kind of statistics all over the place. I'm not going to bore you with too many, but there are billions of searches for local products and local business online. This is a US thing and another thing and another thing. There's this stuff everywhere. But in Sydney in particular, well, let's talk about Australia in particular. Just use Sydney just to make life a little bit easier. If there are 480 searches every month, just people looking for home alarm Sydney. There are 9,900 searches every single month, people looking for a plumber Sydney. This is the Google search, plumber Sydney. And Sydney dentist, 14,000 searches every single month. Similar search volumes, obviously slightly lower volumes in Perth, Melbourne, Adelaide, Melbourne, etc. Imagine if you could just get a few of those every month and just get another customer or another two customers or another couple of deals each month. That would certainly, I'm sure, help your business rather than hinder it. Now, this has never before been done. How come it's been done now? Well, we've invested in this software. We've commissioned this software, which would have cost hundreds of thousands of dollars for you to do it yourself. The reason for that is that the top 4 companies on Google, for example, and that's not the only way to market, but the top 4 companies on Google get 50% of the business. You need to be in the top 4, in other words. SMBs and family-owned businesses are hurting. My background is corporate business building. I've worked with SMBs and family-owned businesses on many occasions, but I know from traversing that sort of gap from corporate industry to SMBs and family-owned businesses, there is a lot of difference between the two, and SMBs and family-owned businesses in particular do not have the resources, do not have the time, do not have the understanding to put all this stuff together. Stick with me and you will be able to see for yourself, because I will provide you, Stevenson Cross Associates will provide you with free videos, ebooks, reports and training that's specific to your industry, that's generic as well, and just a really good foundational understanding, and then some hints, tips and tricks as to how to put it all together. You can do it yourself on a DIY basis. You can take our blueprint and get someone else to do the work for you, or you can become a client of ours, and there are many options for doing that. At this stage, there is absolutely no obligation, there is absolutely no cost. You decide if and when you want to jump into the puddle with us, and if you do, great, we would love to have you and work with you, and if you don't, well, that's fine too. We hope that this service is going to benefit you and benefit your business for a long time to come. Here's the thing. This is the call to action. This is where it gets interesting. Start right now. Enter your details and number exactly as you present them on your website, on your marketing brochures, wherever you put it. Google's eyes are everywhere, and Google has a lot of important say as to how well you do or don't do. One of the first things is to get the details and the number exactly right on every occasion whenever you use them. Stick with us. You'll find out a heck of a lot more than that. I hope you have a great day, and thank you very much for your time. It is appreciated.